Hi and welcome to this week's episode of Wellness TV. With more and more women being diagnosed with autoimmune conditions, it's time to start looking at the role that our health, our diet and our lifestyle is playing in the way our immune system is working. If you want to hear more, join me on the inside. Hi and welcome back to this week's episode. I'm going to talk to you about autoimmune conditions. So what are autoimmune conditions? Autoimmune conditions occur when our immune system starts to attack our own tissue. It sees our own tissue as a foreign invader, so it starts to attack it. And this can cause lots of different symptoms and problems within our health. Autoimmune conditions occur throughout the body, affecting all different organs and all different types of tissues. Now, research is now starting to link the foods we eat and our gut health in particular to the prevalence of some of these autoimmune conditions. So why is that? Well, 80% of our immune system lies within our gut wall. So when we're looking at anything to do with the immune system, it is really important that we start to look at how the gut is functioning. The gut requires really healthy bacteria to function. It also needs to have a really healthy gut wall. Now, in our gut wall, we have things called gap junctions. And what happens is there's cells that sit together like this, and they're supposed to open to allow nutrients to pass through into the bloodstream and close back up. And they shouldn't be allowing any large molecules of food, proteins, or anything else out. Now, what happens though is over time, these cells can start to come apart. And if you can imagine they've got a rubber band around them holding them tight, it's like the rubber band has lost its elasticity, so it becomes slacker and weaker. So that means that then what happens is we have this gap within the gut wall, and it then allows larger proteins and molecules and bacteria and all these other toxins to be able to get through the gut wall, which shouldn't have been able to happen before when it was nice and tight and closed. So this is what we as naturopaths call leaky gut. And this is part of why you can feel bloated, why you have lots of different symptoms, and why your immune system can be affected by the foods that you eat. Now, one of the key things that causes damage to this gut wall or to the elastic bands that are sitting around there that hold the gut wall nice and tight, one of the key foods that causes problems or key ingredients is gluten. Now, gluten has been found in research to be associated with over 150 different autoimmune conditions, and is probably more. So because gluten causes this damage to the gut wall, and when the gut wall is broken and it's leaky, then particles can get in, and the immune system is then fighting this all the time. And it's fighting and it's fighting and it's fighting, and it starts to get confused. It doesn't know whether or not it's fighting its own tissue or it's fighting foreign material. And this is what happens with an autoimmune condition. So what can we do to either prevent or manage an autoimmune condition? Number one is remove all gluten out of your diet. And then if you want to prevent being diagnosed with an autoimmune condition, make sure you've got a really strong gut. Nutrients such as glutamine, which you'll find in bone broth soup, all really good for healing up the gut wall. Slippery elm is also really good for healing up the gut wall. So, have you been diagnosed with an autoimmune condition? Have you noticed any difference when you change the foods that you eat? We'll continue the conversation down below the video. Feel free to share this video with your friends and your family, and I'll be back with you next week with another great episode from Wellness TV. Thanks a lot. Bye.